All right, now, ladies and gentlemen, you just saw him, as I did, Boris Zukov out of Moscow, Russia. Absolutely devastating in that ring. We tried to ask him to come over for an interview. He absolutely refuses. Whether or not he did not want to talk or whether he does not speak any English, at this point, we still do not know. But at this time, I'd like to bring out a man, and as they say, you give the devil his due, one of the great legends in all of professional wrestling, whose record is second to none, the great Ray, the Crippler Stevens. Ray, first off, I appreciate you coming out, having the chance to talk to us. And I would like to ask, right off the bat, a lot of people say that when you go into a ring, you really are not that concerned about whether or not you win or lose the match, but your primary consideration is just how much pain and punishment you can dole out to your opponent.
Well, pain and punishment goes right along with winning. Number one is winning. And that's the only way you survive. That's the only way you make money in wrestling or anything else, is to be a winner. People don't pay to see losers. And I've been a winner all my life. Maybe you don't like the way I wrestle, but I get the job done, and I've always got it done. I wrestle rough. I have no mercy on anybody, and I don't ask for any mercy from anybody. So that's just simple facts. But winning is my number one priority, so we've got that clear.
Now, one thing even wrestling fans alike will agree, whether or not they like your style, your tactics in the ring, they know that whenever you or you and your tag team partner, Nick Bockwinkel, step into the ring, they will get their money's worth and more because you give them a 110%.
Well, absolutely. I think Nick and I have been probably one of the greatest teams that's ever been in professional wrestling. I don't say the greatest, but we've been one of the greatest. And we've proven ourselves. We've wrestled every team in the world. When we were the champions, we traveled all over the world. Australia, the Philippines, Japan, Europe, New Zealand. We've wrestled in jungles and every place. So we've proved that we know how to do it.
Now, Ray, your accomplishments are legendary in professional wrestling, but is there any one match, any one instance in your career that sticks out in your mind a little bit more than the others?
Well, you know, that's a very hard thing to comment on, because I'll tell you, about the top 150 wrestlers, the top men in the world today, on any given day, if you got a bad day, that guy's capable of beating you. So it's very hard to, to pin down one match and say that was the best or the greatest thing I've ever done.
Okay, now talking about the great wrestlers in the world, your thoughts? We just saw this Boris Zukov in action.
Well, he's very, very impressive. I don't know too many Russians, but he seems to be very quiet, and he sure as heck does get the job done when he's in the ring. He's super strong, super big, and absolutely knows a lot of wrestling.
Now, a lot of times we talk about strategies in the ring, but he seems just to attack his opponent from the onset and go from there.
Well, I tell you, he's big enough and strong enough to do that, but a little later on, when he's going to meet some other guys in the United States, he's going to have to change his tactics a little bit, or he'll get his lunch eaten.
All right, Ray Stevens, thank you very much. Now, remember, coming up later on, that great midget tag team battle. We'll be right back.
Out of San Francisco, California, here's Ray the Crippler Stevens. And his opponent at 249 pounds, out of Beverly Hills, California, three-time former heavyweight champion of the world, Nick Bockwinkel. And their opponent, the double axe attack. First of all, at 246 pounds, out of Robbinsdale, Minnesota, Curt Hennig. And his partner at 340 pounds, here's Larry the Axe Hennig. 1 fall, 60 minutes, your referee, Jim Mitchell, gathering time.
Thank you, Kid Resnick, and this is going to be an out-and-out war. There can be no doubt about it. Curt and Larry Hennig, the father and son combination, the axe and the double axe, against Ray the Crippler Stevens and Nick Bockwinkel. Stevens and Bockwinkel held the tag team championship for a record 4.5 years. And there's no doubt about it. They'll do anything to win. Some people will tell you that Ray Stevens really doesn't care that much about winning. They call him the Crippler because he's in the game to maim people. And it's going to be Curt Hennig against Ray Stevens. Joining me at ringside now, Ken Resnick. And Ken, this is going to be a dandy. Look at Stevens.
This will be an all-out war.
No doubt about it. Two body slams.
What a contrast in the ring right now. The young, the quick Curt Hennig against a couple of age veterans in Nick Bockwinkel and Ray the Crippler Stevens. They've seen it all, they've done it all, but look at the exuberance of Curt Hennig.
Bockwinkel turns around, but Hennig kicks him right back.
Well, Hennig is just having a wonderful time body slamming anybody that wants to get in his way, be it Stevens or Bockwinkel. Bockwinkel's had enough. Stevens has had enough. They're going to talk it over outside the ring, and young Curt Hennig has just put a win to him already.
Look at the grin on big Larry the Axe Hennig watching his son in action.
Larry Hennig above is yelling, "That's my boy." What a combination. The axe and the double axe, and I tell you,
you talk about the tradition of Bockwinkel and Stevens. There's a pretty good tradition in the Hennig family when it comes to wrestling as well. Larry the Axe at one time won half of the tag team champions.
Larry the Axe knows all about Nick Bockwinkel and Ray Stevens. He's had many run-ins with them. Curt Hennig is learning tonight. He knows all about Nick Bockwinkel. He's been in there with him a few times. I don't know if he's ever wrestled Ray Stevens. The combination is unbelievable. Now Jimmy Mitchell backing everybody up, trying to gain some sort of control here. Nick Bockwinkel and Curt Hennig, collar and elbow. Hennig out of the way. Bockwinkel to the rope. Get him like that for a second.
A little commotion here at ringside, Larry. The reason being heavyweight champion of the world, Rick Martel, has come out. This match also being broadcast over the French-speaking network. Rick out of Quebec City coming in and adding his expertise to the French broadcast.
We got it all. Nick Bockwinkel misses the punch, and Curt Hennig belts Ray Stevens. Curt Hennig doesn't care. Give me somebody to hit. I don't care, whoever it is. Get him in here. Let's fight. And Larry the Axe giving him the thumbs up. There's a very frustrated Nick Bockwinkel and a stunned Ray Stevens. He's just standing there minding his own business. Gets belted in the head. Collar and elbow, the two men that are supposed to be fighting now. Curt Hennig and Nick Bockwinkel. Bockwinkel connects twice. Neutral corner, he throws Hennig into it and gives him the boot. Wait a minute, Rivers! Oh! Think what you will about Nick Bockwinkel. He is the craftiest wrestler I've ever seen.
Now look at him, Larry, go right back after that shoulder. You know Curt Hennig is hurt, that shoulder is injured, and Bockwinkel goes right to work on it. Grabs him in that arm bar and just twisting that shoulder. As you know, Nick Bockwinkel, if he had his way, he'd like it twisted right out of the socket.
Nick Bockwinkel is called by many experts in professional wrestling the smartest wrestler alive, and I'm not going to argue that fact. When he's in that ring, he is so shrewd. And like Kid said, he's going to work on that arm. Now, notice how he drags Curt around until he gets in exactly the position he wants him. Ray Stevens coming in. They're going to switch. Larry Hennig ran out of the ring. Now it's Ray Stevens in the ring and Nick Bockwinkel outside it.
Now look at Ray Stevens, a blatant chokehold. Referee, I can't see it, Larry.
Bockwinkel in to add the boots.
Now,
when they get you in their corner, the teamwork of these two is devastating.
It is. You know, one thing that we sometimes have a tendency to forget due to their style of wrestling. Bockwinkel and Stevens, both some of the amongst the best wrestling tacticians you'll find in the business.
When you add their attitude, the anything-to-win attitude, to their wrestling ability, to their experience, and to how well they know one another after 4.5 years as tag team champions, they are an awesome team. And right now, Nick Bockwinkel in total control over Curt Hennig. Curt's going to crank up a punch. Jimmy Mitchell won't let him throw it. The tag is made. Stevens is in. Larry Hennig protests. All he does is distract Jimmy Mitchell. So Stevens and Bockwinkel have free reign in their corner.
Now you see again, Ray Stevens still going to work on that same shoulder. That's the one Curt drove right into the turnbuckle.
Curt's problem number one is that he's in a very bad position. He is in the absolute wrong corner, and he knows that, and he's trying to get out of there. He needs to make the tag. Big Larry the Axe stretching. Here comes Bockwinkel. He'll distract referee Jimmy Mitchell. That gives Stevens a chance to use the hair. What more can we say?
Now, Larry, correct me if I'm wrong. Larry the Axe has not been in this match as of yet.
Not at all. Not yet. We're 5 minutes into it, and Nick Bockwinkel back in now. Stevens goes out, and Bockwinkel working on Curt Hennig. Larry Hennig wants in this match, but again, the teamwork of Stevens and Bockwinkel. Now, look, Bockwinkel knows what he's got to do. He's going to maneuver Curt Hennig back into his corner.
Now, I'll tell you what's going on there. I don't know if the camera can pick it up. We can see it here at ringside. There's a bit of a psych-out job going on. Bockwinkel, when he was administering that hold, that punishing hold on Curt Hennig, was staring Larry the Axe right in the eyes. As if to say, now, wait a minute, go ahead, Lee.
Stevens distracts the referee because he knew the tag was going to be made. The referee didn't see it. He won't allow the tag, and Bockwinkel and Stevens are beating the living daylights out of Curt Hennig. By the time Jimmy Mitchell comes back, it looks like nothing ever happened. Bockwinkel is in the ring with his arm bar on Curt Hennig.
Now, as I was saying, once, Larry, periodically, you'll see Bockwinkel stare right at Larry the Axe as if to say, how do you like what I'm doing to your boy, Larry? Just trying to get Larry so worked up mentally that when he gets in that ring, he makes a mental mistake. Bockwinkel and Stevens are able to capitalize on it.
Bockwinkel and Stevens will capitalize on anything. And yes, there are emotions that run between father and son, and if they can upset Larry Hennig with it, they're going to. Wait a minute, Curt Hennig got the body slam but couldn't break the hold. Did he get close enough to make the tag? About a foot away. Bockwinkel using the hair. Takes Hennig into the turnbuckle. Hennig trying to get back to his dad. It's not going to work. Bockwinkel heads him off. Stevens is in, and the tag isn't made yet. And like we hate to keep beleaguering it, but Larry Hennig is yet to be in this match. Bockwinkel and Stevens have tagged several times. You know, Ken, that Curt Hennig has got to be wearing down.
Oh, no question about it. He's absorbed the entire brunt of the punishment. Bockwinkel and Stevens, experienced veterans, they try and keep a fresh man in there at all times. This is about 5 or 6 times now that Curt has come within a foot of tagging to his dad, Larry the Axe. I'll tell you, that's about the longest 12 inches Curt will ever find.
Larry the Axe in the ring. All he's managing to do is distract the referee, and you see Ray Stevens taking advantage of the situation. He's putting on a choke. Now Bockwinkel's going to help Larry Hennig distract Jimmy Mitchell. And you can't see it in the screen, but now you can. Ray Stevens is just loving the opportunity to choke Curt Hennig as well as work on the arm.
I'll tell you, Larry, even if Curt is able to tag off to Larry the Axe, you've got to wonder if Curt will be able to come back from this beating. Once the tag is made, it may still be 2-on-1 because I don't know how much help Curt's going to be with the beating he's absorbed so far.
Do not forget the resiliency that these professional wrestlers have. It is absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. Curt Hennig in serious trouble. He desperately needs the tag. And Ray Stevens is going to take him into that corner. Now can Curt make it? No, they're going to head him off. Stevens and Bockwinkel again. Larry the Axe is trying to come in, and again that distracts Jimmy Mitchell. Plays right into the hands of Bockwinkel and Stevens, and now they can have a field day on Curt Hennig. Bockwinkel with a punch. And right back to that arm. Nick Bockwinkel, I'll tell you what, this yelling stuff at Hennig and Larry the Axe. Larry the Axe isn't going to put up with it, starts to come in. Now Ray the Crippler is coming in. They're going to switch again. It's Bockwinkel out, and Ray the Crippler Stevens working on the arm of Curt Hennig.
Now, referee Jim Mitchell going over the question. Bockwinkel, you know he's going to say we tagged. Bockwinkel stands there like a little angel going, who me? Of course I tagged.
Bockwinkel can play the deception role as well as he can wrestle. Now, there is a legal tag. Bockwinkel will come back in. A tug-of-war going on. Curt Hennig knows what's coming. Gets blasted in the head. I just don't know how much more of this he can take. That arm, the one thing he may have going for him is that arm may be going numb, which might cut down a little bit on the pain.
Yeah, you can only hurt so much. Good point, Larry.
This match is, I don't know how far along, coming up on 10 minutes, and coming up on 10 minutes, 9.5 into it, and most of it, Larry Hennig is spent with his arm in a vise. Now he's beating on the head of Nick Bockwinkel. You wonder how he's got anything left. Throws out of it. But Bockwinkel shoulder blocks it. Bockwinkel off another shoulder block. And this time, Bockwinkel is through. Now makes the tag. Larry, Curt Hennig should have gone for the tag. Didn't when he paid for it. Slams Bockwinkel. He's not going for the tag. His instincts told him to fight. Bockwinkel in the corner, and no. Curt Hennig catches the knee. Now Larry the Axe has got Bockwinkel, and he's going to slam his head a few times.
Curt went over the tag, but if Larry wasn't there.
Ray Stevens then comes in, puts the chokehold on Curt Hennig.
Now that's what you talked about, Larry. Emotion got the better of the Axe. He went after Bockwinkel. Had he stayed in the corner, Curt got over there, would have been able to tag off, but Larry was busy working out Bockwinkel in the far corner. Consequently, Curt is still in the match, absorbing the beating. Larry still has yet to be in the ring.
And he's right back in the worst place he can possibly be, the enemy camp. Ray Stevens still on the arm of Curt Hennig. Ray the Crippler Stevens has put more men out of wrestling than anybody else in the world.
I don't know if the viewers at home can see it, Larry, but look at the color of the one arm of Curt compared to the other. Curt's left arm is almost ghostly white.
He's trying to shake up a little bit to get some circulation in there, trying to drag Ray Stevens over so he can make the tag. And again, he makes it, but again, Bockwinkel distracted Jimmy Mitchell so that he couldn't see it. And Larry the Axe will be denied his legal entry into the ring for the second time. And while they're arguing about it, Stevens and Bockwinkel continue to work on young Curt Hennig. Bockwinkel beating now on the back shoulder area. It also affects that arm of Curt Hennig. Now he's going to try to throw him into it. Hennig again manages to reverse it, but he can't get to the ring. He made it. Mitchell saw it. Here comes the Axe. Oh. Stevens comes in and he gets one. Standing ready to take on all comers, but nobody wants to take on Larry the Axe. Brings that big forearm down on Bockwinkel. Bockwinkel gets his foot across the rope. Jimmy Mitchell breaks it up, and Larry the Axe now has Bockwinkel in the center of the ring. One foot on a foot, the other foot in his hands. You know what the crowd wants him to do. And he squeezes on that leg. Larry the Axe hitting 340 pounds. This is an awesome man.
I think what Larry would like to do is pretend it's Thanksgiving and make a wish with Bockwinkel's legs.
I think I know exactly what Larry would like to do, and that's exactly what the crowd would like for him to do. And he's thinking about doing it. Well, he brings the elbow into the back, the knee into the back of Bockwinkel's leg in the knee area.
Boy, I tell you, that'll cause great havoc with your hamstrings.
Well, that big boot in there, too. Bockwinkel's now in a lot of trouble. Another kick. Now Bockwinkel, Curt got him. Well, he's going to do it again. Bockwinkel right above us, getting his leg slammed into a steel post. And, Jim, you know the rule there. When bone meets steel, steel wins. Curt Hennig was going all the way to the top. Oh, brings his knee down on Bockwinkel's leg, and I didn't think he'd come off the top rope with a knee and not be disqualified, but he did it.
You're all right, Larry, as long as you don't come off on top of your opponent on the throat area.
Okay.
Anything else is now legal in the AWA. It's a rule change, and we should make that very clear to the fans.
Anything goes. Anything goes.
Yeah, we're coming up on 14 minutes in this one.
Now what's going on? Oh, my! Larry the Axe Hennig was going to go up on that rope. Can you imagine 340 pounds coming down off of that? Meanwhile, Curt Hennig is just beating the blazes out of Nick Bockwinkel. Covers him. Nick Bockwinkel has told me that if you come up on him and he's sound asleep and you start whispering 1, 2, he will jump at the count of 3. Curt Hennig takes his head into his dad's knee. They're going to tag.
I don't know about you, but if Nick Bockwinkel is sound asleep, I don't think I want to go up and wake him.
I don't either. Let a sleeping Bockwinkel lie. Larry the Axe pounding on him right now. Bockwinkel down. He is hurt. But I'll tell you something. We're talking about resiliency in wrestlers. Do not underestimate the stamina of Nick Bockwinkel. Larry the Axe brings him up and right in the eyes. I've seen Mo and Curly Joe pull that one a few times. Now what happened here? Somehow or another,
Ray Stevens got in the act.
I didn't see what Stevens did, but he managed to do a number on Larry Hennig. Bockwinkel is up to both work, and Curt can't take it anymore. He comes over. Referee's distracted. Stevens and Bockwinkel are both working on Larry the Axe Hennig. Finally, the referee breaks it up, and for Bockwinkel, it's got to be a miracle came through. He's finally dragging himself out of there after getting beat half silly. Ray the Crippler Stevens is one of the last people on earth I'd want working on me. Now watch it. He'll break it up, distract the referee, giving Bockwinkel his shot to
Choking him across the lower rope strand.
Curt Hennig losing the argument while his dad is getting choked. Nick Bockwinkel with, again, that angelic look you alerted to earlier, Ken. And Ray the Crippler just... Now it's Ray Stevens' turn to distract the referee, and Bockwinkel gives it a forearm.
There, Larry, the Axe is in about the worst possible spot. In the corner of Bockwinkel Stevens, no team uses that to their advantage better than these two.
That could be the worst spot in all of professional wrestling, in the corner of Nick and Ray the Crippler. Bockwinkel
could be the worst spot in all of anything.
Exactly right. A point well taken, Ken Resnick. Nick Bockwinkel and Ray Stevens have Larry the Axe tied up. And Nick Bockwinkel and Ray Stevens are, well, now it's Bockwinkel with his distraction. Look at Ray the Crippler. He's choking as hard as he can, and the boots of Nick Bockwinkel just pouring down on Larry the Axe Hennig. Bockwinkel untied him, and that's hard to believe, and then he snaps Larry the Axe to the ground, going for the cover. Got 2.5, and look at that.
I think
that mountain of a man just threw him off of it.
Bockwinkel thought he might have Larry ready to pin him, and he came within a half a second of doing so.
And then Larry the Axe just lifted him like you or I would at the pillow and threw it, and that's after taking all the punishment he's taken. And now they're beating him, they being Bockwinkel, pounding Larry the Axe's head into the turnbuckle. Larry the Axe decided he's had enough of that, and now it's Bockwinkel's turn. 1, 2. Curt comes in, and Bockwinkel doesn't want to play anymore. Across the ring, into the buckle, way up in the air, and there's one for Ray the Crippler. Dropkick Curt Hennig. Now what are we going to do? Into the ropes. Hitting right to the midsection. And into the jaw. Cover. 1, 2, and in comes Ray the Crippler to break it up, and in comes Larry Hennig, and now, let's see, the two legal men are finally in there alone. Curt Hennig.
I'll tell you, Larry, if Ray Stevens had not gotten in there, this match would be over.
Well, what happened is that Curt Hennig somehow managed to bring Nick Bockwinkel over to range of Ray Stevens. Ray Stevens made the tag, and he's regretting that right now. Curt's going to work on him for a while. I don't know how to describe it. Ray the Crippler Stevens curled into a turnbuckle. Now he throws out of his own and gets a block. Wait a minute, they collided, Ken, head to head. Both men down, and Jimmy Mitchell starts the count. You've got to hear him.
I'll tell you this one, whichever man could get up first.
Keep an eye on Bockwinkel.
Ray's going to the wrong corner. He doesn't
going
know
the wrong way. Going out of the ring. Thinks he's made it. No, he's going to the ring. But here comes Larry the Axe.
Larry's just going to help him into the ring.
Bockwinkel throws Curt Hennig over the top rope. I know that's illegal.
Referee Jim Mitchell didn't see it.
He's counting on Larry the Axe, who's now out of the ring.
And I don't think Larry the Axe saw it either.
Coming up on 20 minutes into the match, Larry the Axe has got to be wondering what happened to Curt. Stevens still in the ring. Curt Hennig, after being thrown over the top rope down onto that floor,
how he made it into the ring, I will never know. This is a very high ring. He flew out about 18 feet in the air.
Ray Stevens trying to get the pile driver. No! Curt Hennig backed off him. Curt Hennig, can you believe it at all? After being thrown over the top rope, not only gets back to the ring, he breaks up a Stevens pile driver. Ray Stevens, about half senseless. Nick Bockwinkel next to him. He realizes it makes the tag. Curt trying to get to his dad. Makes the tag.
Look at the Axe go to work.
Oh! Out goes Stevens. Over the top rope. Wait a minute. Ring the bell. Mitchell comes over. Larry the Axe did not mean to do it, and I don't think, if you want my opinion of it, 20 minutes and 17 seconds into the match, I think Nick Bockwinkel, taking a beating like you can't believe, had the presence of mind left to leap over that top rope and end the match.
I tell you, I think you got a very valid point. Very valid point.
Whatever. Bockwinkel did indeed go over the top rope. That's an automatic disqualification. Larry Hennig stomping on somebody over there. It's Nick Bockwinkel. He's bringing him back in. Jimmy Mitchell again tells us that the qualification is on, but look at that. Larry throws him into an axe by Curt. They just will not quit working on Nick Bockwinkel.
Meanwhile, Ray Stevens is still out on the floor.
Ray Stevens also thrown out of the ring. He went out when they collided. Now they're both out of there. Ray the Crippler and Nick Bockwinkel got the worst of it, but they're the winners.
I tell you, I'll be very anxious to see this replay.